Welcome everybody to the Ibero-American Chatbot and Conversational AI Summit 2022. My name is Caio Calado. I'm speaking from Brazil. I am Brazilian, part of the Bots Brazil community, but I'm so excited to be here today and to host the second edition of this particular event, which is an opportunity to connect and thank you so much, Sidney, and all the conference team for making this possible. And I invite you that is watching the event to check it out, the agenda, all things that is interesting to you, and enjoy the event on your time, okay? So before it starts, I'd like to say also in Portuguese and a little bit of Spanish, few things. First, boas-vindas ao evento. Essa é a segunda edição do Ibero-American Chatbot and AI Summit. A apresentação em si ela vai ser feita em inglês, porque o evento vai incluir, né, pessoas de três línguas diferentes, português, inglês e espanhol. E inglês talvez seja a mais neutra delas, né? Tem um alcance maior para todas as regiões. Na minha apresentação, enquanto eu estiver fazendo ela, vai ter uma legenda em português. E eu também queria muito poder fazer ela em espanhol, mas o meu espanhol não é muito bom. Então eu vou tentar falar pouquito espanhol. Bem-vindos a Ibero-American Chatbot AI Summit 2022. No me siento muy seguro de hacer esta presentación en español, pero la voy a hacer en inglés con subtítulos en portugués. Gostaria muito de fazer essa charla em espanhol, mas eu não falo muito bem. Vou tentar. So coming back to the presentation. So there are many things that I'm going to say on my presentation, which is about the Brazilian market, but I think I'm quite strong. I have a quite strong feeling that this is really similar to many other Latin American countries. I don't know why, but there is something really special about messaging in the area. WhatsApp, for example. Did you know that about 99% of the Brazilians have WhatsApp installed in their smartphones? It's a huge number. And also, in the past year, about 89% of Brazilians had a conversation with a bot on WhatsApp, which is a big number. And also, 60% of the Brazilians ISVs, which stands for Independent Software Vendor, indicated that WhatsApp is one of the hottest channel to invest or to be. There are more than 200 million of active smartphones in Brazil. So it's a big number. It's a big slice of the market. And I don't know why messaging, and especially WhatsApp, is something special in this area. So in Brazil, in particular, there are more than 58,000 bots active in the past year. And every month, they exchange about 4.5 billion of messages back and forth, right? And this number is just getting bigger and bigger every year. So in this presentation, it's going to be really short. I would like to talk to you about two things only. What is the business messaging? And what are the Brazilian ways to business messaging? How the Brazilians invest in this? And maybe this can be a benchmark for you to invest in your country or create new business opportunities for your company or even your clients. And then I'm going to finish this session with some final more time to maybe talk more about other business cases or bring you new ideas, but I'm going to be available. And if you'd like to connect, just say hi on LinkedIn as well. So if you're not familiar with the idea of business messaging is basically the new way in which companies and people can interact through conversations, which is going to create opportunities to explore messaging channels by combining the power of messaging and integrations with other services, such as third-party and native applications. It's a really interesting way and concept that now companies, ISVs, people that work in the industry can point it out, saying like, we're creating a new business strategy or for messaging or something like that, which is completely different than about 6 years ago, back in 2016, when I started to work on this market. Back then, we only had different names: messenger bot, assistant, chat bot, and any other technologies that would be kind of confusing because everything kind of sounds new. But now we have a concept and a thing to point it out and see how the companies are getting ready for that. And do not take my words for that. Just see the big techs out there, how they're positioning themselves to be part of this transition. Apple, for example, in 2018, they introduced the Apple Business Chat, which is a way that companies can explore the power of many Apple's products and make the experience more seamlessly for the users. So now, for example, people can have a conversation with a brand on message and then also can make payments using Apple Payments. And everything inside of Apple's products is kind of interconnected between themselves, and the companies can take advantage of that. So that's one thing or way of thinking about this. Also, Meta, which used to be Facebook, they started to create conversational apps in 2016 when they announced it, the Messenger platform. And then after that, we saw the WhatsApp Business API. And most recently, we have a new version of that API and also Instagram as well for companies to create or start conversations on these particular channels, Messenger, Instagram, or WhatsApp. But in 2021, last year, Meta started to focus more on developing new products, and even created a new business conversational services. And they have verticals of solutions to help, automobiles to service or foods to start a conversation with the clients. And it's been great so far. And also Meta has many different offerings to when it comes to ads. And now they have a specific ads offering for conversational applications, which is just interesting to see how Meta is just helping businesses to achieve their goals through conversations. And the most recent one is Google, which in 2020, Google announced a new product, which is slightly different from Google RCS, but it's called Google Business on the search and to help companies to start a conversation directly from the search. And it's already available on Google Search and Google Maps. And just look for business on Google Maps or even on Google Search. If you see there is a chat button, which is new, and if you click there, you can start a conversation right away. So all of these big techs, they now have an offering that is going to help businesses to improve the conversations that these companies have with their clients, and is a really strong signal that the big techs is investing in the conversational market, and everyone should be just jumping on this or maybe take advantage of that to design or create better conversations as well. So another way of seeing this is just to understand that it's all about being present on customers' journey. What Apple, Google, Meta is doing is basically creating ways for companies to start conversations right there in the customer journey. And they have a specific business goals. And it's interesting because they kind of sound similar, but in practice, they're different. Google, for example, focus on the search. Meta, they have big channels, social media channels that people can start a conversation right there. And Apple focus more in the integrations per se. So as I said, it's all about being present on the customer journeys. And there are different ways to see this. For example, a typical buyer journey is basically a 3-step journey that a customer has a problem. They're going to try to discover solutions for this particular problem. Then they're going to look for all the options, have a moment of consideration, and then they're going to decide which provider or thing they're going to buy or use as they like. I'm just curious if this, yeah, it translated right. I was just thinking if it would get it right. But basically, what business messaging help companies to do is just empower the buyer journey with conversations. So for every stage of the funnel, we can start or have specific conversations that is going to help the customers to just move to the next stage. And hopefully they're going to make a deal or sign up for your product, or I don't know, help your company to achieve the goals. For each of these touch points, we can have a specific offering in products for that as well. So the business message is a win-to-win to everyone. It can help the users because it's more, if you're using a channel that everybody uses, it's more familiar to everyone, it's more convenient. It enables you to personalize the conversation. If done right, you can leverage the rich interactions from using buttons, lists, or catalogs to using other rich video, audios, and etc. And also it can help you to build trust with customers and create more credibility for the brand that you are kind of working on. And there are different ways that companies leverage these concepts, especially here in Brazil. I wish I had more time to just walk through some other business cases for different verticals, but here are some ideas. It can help companies from improving the CX, the customer experience, to saving costs as well. So, for example, Sebrae is a Brazilian institution that helps small businesses to be educated about business practice and especially adopting new technologies that is going to help them to make better business. And they have been doing this for many years. It's an NGO organization, and it has a really well-known brand to support small businesses. They develop a educational conversational product, which is a bot on WhatsApp that small businesses can take class through conversations on WhatsApp. And so far, more than 200,000 people took courses on WhatsApp from Sebrae's mentoring and curation. And it's a really interesting way to start a conversation and educate the people about whatever they need. It's a really specific business objective. Also, there is a bank, it's called Banco do Brasil. Just a fun fact, Banco do Brasil is the very first Brazilian company ever in history. And they have so many different offerings on the WhatsApp channel. And most recently, they started to offering loans through WhatsApp. And in 2 months, they granted about 10 million Brazilian reais, which is about 2.5 million US in just 2 months. This is through automated conversations on WhatsApp. And it's great for call centers as well. So this is a news from Mobile Time. There is some articles about the adoption of WhatsApp in the region, in Brazil area. So few months ago, they have a corporate event down here. I think it was last month, if I'm not wrong, or in June, I guess, which an executive from WhatsApp in Brazil said that WhatsApp Business API reduces up to 35% of the company's calls center operational costs, which is a big cut if you think of it. And you can use this money to invest in other opportunities or explore new things to delight your customers as well. And on that same presentation, increase in about 86% the customer satisfaction in talking to a particular brand, because using WhatsApp is more convenient, familiar, and helps everyone to achieve their goals. But yeah, that's it. Before I finish, just like to invite you to join the Brazilian community. If you're curious more about the ecosystem, the business case, how you can learn new things, we have a Brazilian active community since 2016. Last month, for example, we hosted our 5th conference, which we had about 750 attendees, which was great. It was a remote event, but maybe next year we can do something in person and maybe collaborate more with other countries in Latin America as well. Since the COVID, we started to transition our events, and now we have more than 160 presentations in our YouTube channel. You can just look for Boss Brazil there, and also on Medium, which is we active since then. To wrap things up, there are 3 main messages or 3 key things that I told you on this presentation. Business messaging is not really new, but it's a consolidation of the previous years. Plus, it's a strong signal of investment from the big techs. You can see that if they're putting their money on this market, I'm sure that it's going to flourish in a really short time or long time. Also, business message can benefit everyone, from improving the customer experience to saving costs. And finally, business messaging is all about joining, learning the relevant entry points for your audience and how you can take advantage of that and help your business or your clients to achieve their business goals. And there are many platforms out there that can help you with that. And I hope you can choose wisely the right one. So the other presentations on the conference. I'm sorry for but the next session is from Agustin Soares. He is going to talk about the BOT, el chatbot del gobierno de la ciudad de Buenos Aires. Como el chatbot ayuda al desarrollo de la ciudad y facilita la vida del vecino. So it's a presentation about how the local government of Buenos Aires, which is the capital of Argentina, is using a chatbot to talk to its citizens and help the city to make better decisions. I'm curious about that. Let's see what Augustine is going to say. So that's it. Thank you so much. If you'd like to be connected or say hello,